Jack, yesterday when we were talking to Sheldon, he said this was a different type of challenge, different type of opponent, and you guys needed to meet the moment. How do you feel sort of this played out for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team and with some great players. So I think that, they played yesterday. We had to jump on them a little bit, but I think that's our next game too, right? So I'm sure they're going to be back at home after a road trip and be ready to roll. So tonight was a good win for us, but yeah, it's a really good team over there.
How about Nemo, just sort of that wall play there to get you the puck?
Yeah, it's a good play. Get that puck back to recover that and get it over to me. So obviously, good play by him on that winning goal.
Jack, how about your team's just ability to not really quit? Like you guys, in the second period there, it looks like, the shot differential was bad, and then you guys end up coming away with the lead anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's a really good team over there. So we've played some good teams as of late, and you got to know that when they got McKinnon, Nekic, and Makar on the ice, they're gonna get their shifts. They're gonna have their looks. So we just got to hold the fort down when they do turn it up like that. And obviously that's what we did. We held it, and then Brownie scores to give us a lead. So we've been doing a good job at that.
Jack, it just feels like we keep talking about how strong Allen's been. He just comes up with these big saves, those big moments.
Yeah, he's been playing great for us, and we're happy that he's playing well, and we're happy that Marky's back. So we got a lot of belief in all three of our goalies, honestly, with Dawsey too. So another great game by Jaker, and we're happy for him.
What does it say about the team to win this game without Pesh?
Yeah, that hurts. That's a tough blow that he misses the rest of the game, and we'll see how he is. But yeah, good job by our D-core stepping up against McKinnon, Nekic, these guys. That's one of the tougher lines in hockey you have to play. So it's a really good job as our unit, our five guys back there stepping up.
What has Arsenio meant for this group?
Yeah, he's been good. He's come in here and he's played really good hockey. I think people probably didn't know what to expect with him, and I know myself and the guys in this room are really pumped with how good he is. He's a guy that can be a part of our core for a long time, hopefully. So I think he's been playing great hockey for us, and it's evident with how he's playing.
What's going through your mind when you get the puck on your stick in the overtime there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think whoever that was angling me pretty hard, so I had to get that puck off. Just a weird play where I missed the first chance, and by the time I'm skating back to the bench, the puck's coming back my way already. So just being in the right spot at the right time, and then just have to get a quick shot off there.
Thanks, Jack. Cool. Ronnie, when we talked to Sheldon yesterday, he said this was going to be a different type of matchup for you guys. Maybe haven't seen a team like this before. You need to meet that moment. How do you feel this team sort of, with the ebbs and flows of this game, really stuck with it there?
Yeah, you play a team like this, it requires some resilience, to be able to kind of persevere through some, they're going to have extended shifts in your end. I mean, just with the amount of skill and speed that they have. So just making sure that, mentally we're with it, and mentally we're not making any mental mistakes. And for the most part, I thought we did that a few little mistakes, and they made us pay. But we persevered pretty well, and obviously a couple big goals from Jack, but especially that winner in OT is huge.
How about Nemo catching you up the middle of the ice?
Yeah, that was a great little spring. I know that one caught me by surprise. All of a sudden, I was in on a breakaway, so that was a good surprise there.
What was going through your mind? You had a lot of ice, on the way down. What was going through your mind?
I was trying to settle the puck down. it was rolling and spinning, so I was just trying to get it to settle down so I could have a good opportunity to try to put one in.
Do you guys lose Pesh in this game, pretty early? Doesn't come out for the second or the third, leaves in the first there. How do you feel that you guys handled his loss, knowing what the opponent brings to, just how forceful they are?
Well, he's such an important player for us. The way he plays, the poise that he plays with, just his maturity on the ice. But I thought the two young guys really stepped up huge with Luke and Nemo. They both played phenomenal in that third period. Skating with the puck, they took a big step forward, and when we needed them. So, I have no idea what it's going to look like, but we're going to need more of that if he's missing any time here.
Connor, what's been the key for you to, just so quickly adapt to the system and, be able to play so well early on?
I've played for Sheldon before, so I kind of understand what the overall way he wants his team to play, and so I think that that matches with the way that I see the game too, and the way that this team plays. So I just feel like it's a good fit for me. And anytime you're playing with good players, it's easier to play. And we have a lot of good players on our team, so it's been making it easier for me to fit in.
What was the challenge for your team in the second period with the shot differential there?
Well, the second period's a long change, and they do a really good job of short tracking it, we call it, where they just, we can get it out to the neutral zone, but they're turning it up really quick, and they're cutting the ice in half, and so they're able to get, 2 or 3 changes while we're, surviving. So that's something that we pride ourselves on doing to other teams, but tonight in the second, they kind of took it to us in that way. But, they're a really good team, so, it's something to learn from there moving forward.
Well, you had a lot of traffic in front of you, but did you see Brownie there up the middle of it?
No, I didn't see him. I just tried to defend there, and yeah.
How do you feel as a defensive unit? You guys were just 5 of you for most of the game. That's a team that has a lot of offensive power. How did you guys feel, handling that right now?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but yeah, we did it. I think it's one game we can do that, but I think some forwards help us a lot. So yeah, we're a really good team, and we try and help each other, and yeah.
It was a strong game. Sheldon puts you out there on the ice for OT. What was going through your mind when you had the puck and Jack was open in the slot?
If you see Jack open, you just want to give him puck, and then yeah. So I was just trying to do my best out there and then help the team. So
First 3.9 for you, how's it feel?
yeah, it feels pretty good, but I'm not trying to focus on that. I'm happy we won 8 games in a row, so that's more important.
Callum, come on in. Well, first off, just congratulations, right? This was a gutsy effort. This was a game that I'm sure guys circled on the calendar. You have a juggernaut coming in. Just speak to how resilient you guys were, after not maybe your best second period of the season, but you guys found a way still.
Yeah, it's we definitely had this one circled. At the start of the year, we knew this was probably going to be our toughest test, and it's a hell of a hockey club on the other side there, and there's ebbs and flows in the game. Obviously, they're a really good team. Good teams are going to have momentum. That's normal. It's just a way to find a way to navigate those times, and we got through that second period, with a lead, and for the most part, I thought we had a pretty good third too. We gave them one chance there late, and they made the most of it, but for the majority of the game, the guys found a way to, dig in those tough times and get it done.
Well, as someone that faces his shot in practice a lot, Arseny Gricic, just explain to the fans how lethal and deceiving that release is.
Yeah, the first day that I saw him here at Prudential, I said, "Oh boy, this guy's been my kryptonite in practice." I'm sure Corey knows that.
Always
those guys that shoot the puck so hard, and I'm really happy for him because he's found a way to, have an impact on our team, not just on the score sheet. I thought he's done a really good job, especially transitioning from Russia to here. And when he gets those chances, his shot is so hard. It's almost impossible to react to it unless you get a good read on it.
Jay, congratulations, another great game. I wanted to ask you, I think when you get into a groove like this, it's a complementary hockey where the team in front of you is predictable and then you're making the big saves when you need to. What are you seeing from your teammates in front of you that's making the game, you're seeing it so well right now?
Yeah, you're right. I think everyone's sort of getting on the same page. Obviously there's times where we're slide off that page, but I think we're showing a lot of maturity, a lot of navigating the game, the right situations, the right time, and for the most part, they're making it easy on me. I've had times where you have to, pick them up, but for the majority of the time, they've been doing that for me, and I can't say enough about it. And the credit in the locker room too. Guys aren't getting too high. Guys are coming to the rink every day with the same attitude they were before a game against Carolina. So I think that's really impressive.
Well, Jake, first off, just another great effort, right? I know that as you looked at the stretch of hockey, you weren't really thinking that you're going to be playing this many games, but, just as from your mindset, how did you approach it when you realized, hey, Mark is going to be out for a stretch here? I
mean, that's sort of my role on this team. I had that opportunity last year when Marky went out, and it's hockey, there's going to be injuries. I've played a lot of hockey. I've seen a lot of things. I've almost held every position in the league, I feel like, and it's just it's part of the role, and it's part of my understanding that that's why I came back to do here. And we're glad Marky's back in our group and get to see him playing this week.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, big win.
Safe travels.
Sheldon, we talked yesterday about this being a big game just in terms of the level of opponent and a different type of opponent for you guys. You guys go down to 5D, before the first period is over. How do you think your players met the moment and the resiliency required to make it through this game, whether it was that or the late tying goal?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. I mean, we got out and got to our game, I thought, pretty early and got a lead. So we were in a pretty good spot there. I don't like how we handled that in the back end of the first period, but yeah, it's kind of a bit of a call to action there, when you lose not just a defenseman, but such an integral defenseman in Pesci, and especially against a team like this that is so dynamic offensively that to lose a defender like him is hard. So the group had to rally, not just the D, but the whole team has to try to help them and take care of them. And I didn't think we did the best job of that in the second period, but funny enough, you give up the goal and they tie the game in the third. But I thought we played an excellent third period from a defensive standpoint. We didn't give up much. I think their goal at about the 14-minute mark is the third shot of the period. So you get 14 minutes of pretty clean hockey up to that point. We make one mistake and they score, and that happens in one-goal games. But again, we just got back to work. We had some chances late, and then obviously made good in overtime. So it was what we thought it would be in terms of the challenge offensively for them. And there's two tired teams at it today. They've had a tough schedule, but it's 4 games in 5.5 days for us as well. So it's kind of a bit of a taste of what you're going to be dealing with all season long in terms of the fatigue and injuries and all these things.
How is Pesh? Do you have an update on?
Yeah, he's not great. He's going to be out for sure. He won't travel with us.
What exactly happened there with Pesh? Was it the block shot or the?
I think so. I mean, when you say the block shot, it seems like he blocks every shot. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to. I haven't seen it back yet, but that's the nature of the injury. Yeah.
Is this is upper body, lower body?
Upper.
Yeah. So I was curious about the power play 2 deployment or power play 1 deployment. So obviously you have Dougie move to power play 2. I feel like some might look at that and just say he had 2 goals last game. I know you like to switch it up, but just curious your thought process behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it a lot about how we're going to approach it. It's going to be very dependent on our opposition and the style of penalty kill that we see. That we have different groups that we like to see, and it's not a half-assed process. We're doing it for a reason, and I think we've had it the other way. I think there's been times where Timo scored, and the next day he's not on it. It's a combination of doing what we think is right against certain opponents, and then at the same time in doing so, it keeps more people involved and makes us trickier to defend. So that's really it. Just adhering to a process, just not going to. Just because there was something worked one night, it's a completely different penalty kill here today. So we're trying to get ahead of that and utilize the assets that we have.
Coach, obviously you're missing Brett in the second period, but what was the challenge there that had Colorado in your guys' zone so often?
I didn't break out nearly well enough. Gave some pucks back to them. Didn't spend enough time in the offensive zone. And they are elite offensively. I mean, that's the best offensive team in the NHL. And it's certainly their best players drive a lot of it, but it's line over line. There's lots of skill. They play with a good process. They attack the net better than anybody. So that leads to getting on your heels. If you don't get out the first time, it becomes tricky, and you got to kind of ride that wave a bit, which I thought we did a good job of in that second period, especially. There's a couple real long D zones there that we didn't give up the big chance. There's some time in the zone, and there's some shots heading towards our net, but we didn't give up. We didn't give up the dangerous one. In that first period, the back half of the last 10 minutes there, their goals they got, we gave up dangerous shots, dangerous looks. Their goal they scored in the third off that one chance that they got, that's a dangerous look. But I thought for good chunks of the game, we managed that really well, and we'll have to do that likely even more so on the road.
And you've been complimentary of Gritsik thus far. Open the scoring tonight. Does it just feel like he's getting better and better every night here?
Yeah, I mean, he's had ups and downs. He's had really strong games, and then a bit of a dip the next night. But you're going to get that. We get that with everybody over the course of 82 games. I just touched on how challenging the schedule is here, right? I mean, this stretch we're going to go on the road now and play 4 games. It's going to amount to, I think it's 8 games in 13 days. It's a harder schedule than you get in the playoffs, and lots of moving around. So you get some of these ups and downs, but I thought he was excellent tonight. I mean, and not just the goal, but just his work on the puck, strength on it. He had a really strong game today. So when he plays like that, he's a lot to deal with for the opposition, not just because of his offensive skills, but he gets in their way defensively and frustrates them.
And Markstrom dressed today. Allen making it a little hard for you to maybe not play him though at this point?
Allen's been unbelievable. He was great again here today. Like even when they're not getting a lot of shots or chances, like they move around the zone so much and zip the puck around. There's so much movement even when pucks aren't coming. And he was solid as all can be. But he's been great. But at the same time, we also have to manage his workload. We just touched on the schedule again, and now we're going to travel all the way to Colorado. So it's good to have goaltending depth, and it's good to have Markey coming back at this time because. Like I said, the amount of schedule here, we have to manage that, or we're going to be having injured goalies all season long. I mean, we don't want that, so we got to manage these guys as best we can.
Dylan had 2 blocks, 3 hits. How reliable has he been for his role?
It's great. He does his thing. I mean, huge hit here today that kind of gave the guys a bit of a boost in the bench. He's been solid. I mean, he's had his little stretch where he shot a couple in the net for us, but. That's him stepping out of character. But what you do come to expect is him being solid and competitive and all that. So he's great. Nemec had a really great game here today. I mean, he stepped up when Pesce went down, but he was even before Pesce went down. He was having a real good game. He was on the puck today. I think he ends up with 3 assists when it's all said and done. That pairing, even though they spent a lot of time apart today, that pairing I thought had a really good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, I was just going to ask you about that. How impressive was that effort by your 5-man D there after Pesce goes down? What you saw out of them, and in particular, you did mention Nemec there, but also Luke Hughes too, the 2 young guys stepping up.
Yeah, Luke was great. I thought the more we needed our D, I thought he got even better in terms of solving problems and breaking pucks out. He skated out of trouble a bunch of times for us. That was probably the strength of our third period is how we were able to skate the puck out of pressure, and Luke led the way for us there. So yeah, it's like you say, it's one thing you lose a guy, you kind of go shorthanded now, and you got 2 young guys that you try to insulate and protect. They're great young players, but they need help, and it's harder to do that when you lose someone of Pesce's stature, and now the pairings are all different, the minutes are higher, the matchups get all messed up. So these guys got to really dig in, and both those guys really stepped up to really help those 5 guys get through it. Thank you.